Good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. I am here in the shed just after Mass. I decided not to even eat lunch or let myself want to fall into my Sunday nap coma. And so I have my coffee with my St. Patrick mug here. That I can have beautiful coffee stained teeth. I have to say something funny. When I started making videos here on YouTube, I suddenly started seeing all of these YouTube videos telling me how I could have whiter teeth or to get rid of the bags under my eyes. And I'm like, gosh, thanks YouTube. Yes, I have coffee stained teeth and bags under my eyes because I don't sleep enough and I drink coffee. Go figure. Well, I'm not going to accept it as a complex, and honestly, maybe someday I will find a place of rest. I have this sort of picture in my head of this little bright yellow house that will bring me rest and peace, and I will feel energetic and well, I already feel joy inside, so I'm not going to say I'll feel joy, but maybe more rested and have more energy once I find this little yellow house. And I kind of wonder because I keep seeing it in my mind, if this is my mansion in heaven, is a tiny little yellow house, because God knows that I don't really like mansions. I like little humble places that are bright and cheery and happy, and I like the color yellow too. Because things that are sunny are happy and beautiful. That's why I live in the Southwest, because I like the sunshine and I don't like gray days constantly. So I live here where it's sunny and bright and I can be happy and drink my coffee and have my beautiful coffee stained teeth. Actually, the funny thing is yes, I mean, I'm sure that my teeth are, I've been drinking coffee since I got home from Mass, so I'm sure they are somewhat coffee stained, but a lot of that is really just lighting. Like, I don't know. I don't really notice it when I brush my teeth in the bathroom that my teeth are particularly yellow. So I have no beauty advice to offer because that's totally outside my bailiwick, as one would say. Bailiwick, that's a term, I think. I might have to go look that up later. I tend to use words that I read in books and that I've been reading in books since I was a child, and I don't always know what they mean. I'm just guessing. But anyway, yes, health and beauty are outside my bailiwick, so I have no advice to offer regarding that. I don't even know really what to do with my hair except to comb it out in the morning. I got nothing. Okay, so speaking of being happy or not happy, or it's been kind of a rough week. I had a very exhausting week, frustrating week. I feel recovered today. I went to Mass and I sang in the choir, and I didn't sing well, and that doesn't really matter. The fact is that I went to Mass and I did sing in the choir. That's all that really matters. That you get yourself up, you go to Mass, and you get infused with God and have your spirit renewed every Sunday or Saturday evening if you prefer the Saturday Vigil Mass. I mean, that I actually do like that Mass, but if you think that I can get myself anywhere on a Saturday evening, no. Then you're quite mistaken, because I cannot do that. Saturdays are either an extremely busy day because I decide that I'm going to do all my housework and whatever is on my list of things, and it's usually very long list of things to do. So it's either like that, and 5:30 rolls around, which, well, there are 3 parishes in town. 5:30 is the earliest of the Saturday Vigil Masses, so I guess I could go to a later one if I look at it and it's like 5:30, I can't go. See, I'm wearing my dirty house cleaning clothes and I can't go to Mass. I think I would enjoy that Mass, but I've already joined the choir for an earlier Sunday morning Mass, so I guess that's not going to happen. But anyway, yeah, I'm usually not ready. Either I'm having a day like that, or I am so burnt out from my work week, which doesn't just involve my work, because my job is, not extremely stressful and demanding. It's really not. I mean, it does have its moments, obviously. All all jobs do. But it's all the other things that I do in my life, like exercise, accordion, writing books, and just on and on down the list of the things that I feel like I must do to survive. And I get bored if I don't do all these things anyway. So I guess that's my excuse as to why I have to stay busy all the time. Yeah, but sometimes I'm so tired from the work week that I just can't force myself to get up and do anything on Saturday. I just want to sit on the couch and drink coffee and do nothing. In fact, yesterday I ended up spending my afternoon and evening watching old Psych episodes. I love that show, and I will pull it out, every once in a while when I just need something that's funny and entertaining, because that show is hilarious. And I fancy myself a comedy writer, even though my books get really dark. They tend to have comic elements, so I like to relax to actually really good visual comedy. You can't get visual comedy in books, but it's word comedy, and it's I guess the images that it evokes in the head. But sometimes it's just word comedy, where you just say something, you write something that's completely ridiculous, and it just pops into your head. And at least that's the way I write my comedy. And my dogs are just coming and going, and looks like they left the shed door open. How dare they? Silly dogs. Sometimes I wonder why I have dogs, because I love them. They're fluffy balls of brattiness, but they are brats. And let's see if, yeah. Here comes the dog again. S'mores, you forgot to shut the door. He forgot to shut the door. How rude. Anyway, so one of the it's kind of weird for me to say this, but one of the hardships that I processed last week was the death of a musician that I liked. And it's weird to me because it happens, musicians that we listen to, they will pass away, and we feel this grief, but we didn't know that person, and that person didn't know us. So there's no relationship there, but music makes somebody so, they're putting themselves out there and making themselves vulnerable, and they're feeling your spirit and your emotions. And so you feel like you have that emotional connection. And actually, the person that passed away, it was the singer for Los Traileros del Norte. Whenever I have two R's in a Spanish word, I can't say, or an R and a D, my English tongue can't really quite wrap around it. And so I apologize to all Spanish speakers everywhere for that slaughtering of your beautiful language. But I wish that sometimes I could have lessons in like changing how thick my tongue is from speaking English. And I have been speaking Spanish a long time, kind of speaking Spanish. I mostly listen to it and read it more than anything. So I can hear the way words are supposed to sound. I can't always say them. It's ridiculous. And I find that I can sing better than I can speak, because singing, when you enunciate in singing, it kind of softens everything, but also it clarifies all the sounds. So I prefer to sing in Spanish rather than speaking it. And that's, of course, ridiculous, because can you imagine? Well, I do kind of go around singing all the time. A friend of mine asked the other day, he said, how do you think that I can stop stuttering? Because he'd been stuttering all his life, and he doesn't stutter, sorry. Got a drippy nose today. Just the weather and allergies and everything. He was asking me, how do you stop stuttering? I don't know how to do it, but I know that when I sing, I don't stutter. And I said, well, naturally, you have to go around singing all the time. So don't walk in my office unless you have a song on your lips, because everything should be sung. So, I mean, that's a little absurd, but it's kind of how I view the world. Might as well go into it singing, because singing is the most wonderful thing in the world. Even if you sound horrible, who cares? I mean, but it can be wonderful. It can help smooth out your bad Spanish, or it can help you not to stutter, as he said, because he doesn't stutter all the time. It's just certain things that he's trying to say, certain expressions, and he can't quite get it out. So he stutters because I think his brain is trying to catch up. I think that's what's happening. And so that's really an issue. Speaking of stuttering, I see, I just caught myself doing it. I've caught myself in videos because I'm speaking these off the cuff. I fill in the gaps with and that's very common. People do that all the time when they're speaking. I have to work on that. I will make this YouTube adventure part of my public speaking. Not that I ever want to do public speaking in my life. This is not exactly like public speaking because I'm speaking to a camera. So it's a little different. There's not that pressure there. I'm not standing up in front of people. People aren't watching me at this moment. They will be watching me later, hopefully, because that's the whole goal of having a YouTube channel, is to have people listen to you. Well, maybe watch you. I really just listen to YouTube videos. I don't watch them very often. That's not what I do. I need another sip of coffee. Coffee chills off really fast in New Mexico, and it's because of the elevation. As far as I know, that's why. It might have to do with the lack of moisture in the air. I don't know about that, but I do know I caught myself saying, I will pay attention. I will clarify my speech. I will become a public speaker. Yes, maybe in front of an audience. Maybe I'll play my accordion in front of an audience someday. That is a fantastical dream, and maybe I will do that. Maybe I will be brave enough. I'm just thinking about it. Getting that faraway, dreamy look in my eye. I don't know whether I get a dreamy look on my eye. I have a dreamy expression in my head. I don't know about whether I have it in my eyes, but that faraway, dreamy expression of standing on stage and playing my beautiful accordion. Yes, that might happen someday. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, it was about coffee and elevation. So when you live near sea level, your coffee can stay piping hot for a very long time. When you live at higher elevations, like I used to live in Socorro, which was, our house was about at 5,000 feet. And here I think it's somewhere around 3,000 feet. Coffee cools down quickly. So I have to drink it. I'm sorry if that interrupts my YouTube video. I have to drink it while it's hot because it will cool off. And lukewarm coffee and cold coffee, they're terrible. Hot beverages are necessary. Okay. Anyway, so like I was saying, the singer for Los Traileros, there you go. That was better than my hack job before. He passed away. Arnulfo Lopez, I think his name is. That makes me sad because that band was my happy music. When I was feeling down, I would put on a playlist and I would listen to their songs. They have just marvelously happy cumbias. And, you know, they're not all happy, but they tend to sound happy regardless of whether the lyrics are happy or not. One of the first songs, actually, it's not just one of the first songs I learned to play on the accordion was Abeja Reina. It was the first song that I learned to play along with the song. Now, one of the problems with trying to play songs on the radio that I hear on the radio or on my Spotify playlist is that I have a fa accordion, and they don't always play the same kind of accordion, and then I have to adapt the song to my accordion. But a lot of songs are played in fa, and that one happens to be played on a fa accordion. So obviously I was easily able to pick up on it, and it's not a difficult song to play, but like I said, it was the first song that I picked up my accordion and played it right along with the song as it was playing. So that was a big 2 thumbs up for me. That was it's a hurdle that you jump over when you learn to play to the beat of the music. You're playing at speed to the beat of the music, and some of those accordion players, Mexican accordion players, they play really, really fast. And sometimes their songs sound easier than they are. Like there's a song that I love. It's called Si Te Pudiera Mentir. And it's originally a Marco Antonio Soli song. But Calibre 50 does it. And I love Calibre 50. They're one of my favorite bands. But they make the accordion sound easy. But there's this part in the song where he's rapid fire pulling the accordion in and out while doing his his buttons over here. So there's this coordination issue with trying to pull out the accordion with the bellows, the in and out and back in really quickly. And it's not very easy to play, but it sounds so easy when you listen to the song, obviously, because he's a professional and it's mixed really well. And what I notice is that his accordion is so like light and golden in songs. The Eden Munoz is who I'm talking about. He's no longer with Calibre 50, but he started his own solo career, which I like his solo music. I don't like all of what he's done since he's gone solo, but I like it enough that somebody purchased Eden Munoz tickets for me for my birthday. But my birthday was last summer, but the concert's not till the end of October, so I have that to look forward to. I'm super excited. I get to go see Eden Munoz play his accordion. I really enjoy his accordion playing. So that I have that to look forward to. Anyway, that was a huge leap. Los Traileros, the accordion parts in their songs are not terribly difficult, and that's generally the case with cumbias. Cumbias have a lot of repetitive parts and pieces, and they tend to be played quickly, but they're not difficult. They're just repeated over and over and over again. So their accordion parts aren't difficult to play, but who cares, because they're happy accordion parts. I love those accordion parts. I love listening to them. I love trying to play them. I love that band. I love their music. They're a classic band. They have, years and years worth of music. And so my Spotify playlist is really super long, and I love to listen to them when I'm feeling down. So it's really sad to hear that the singer, the lead singer, has passed away. He wasn't young, but I don't think it was, judging by the article that I read, it wasn't really expected. It was unexpected. It just happened, probably a heart attack or something like that. He was in his 70s, I think. And like I said, once you get into your 70s, yeah, we all want to live till we're like 103, but it doesn't always happen. And speaking of happy songs, that reminds me, I often have to play chauffeur really early in the morning, and I have to put off my exercise till 6:30 a.m. instead of 6 a.m. because I have to take my son somewhere early in the morning. And there's a song that kept playing when I would take him at around 6 a.m. and I had never heard it, didn't recognize the accordion or the singer, and I didn't recognize the song. And it was driving me crazy because I love the accordion part. And I love the accordion part not because it sounds super complex, but because it sounds so happy. And this is why I play the accordion. And the accordion, obviously, it's an instrument. It can have a wide range of emotions, but it has a very happy sound to me. Even when it's super sad, it has a happy sound to me. And it was driving me crazy because usually when I hear a song on the radio that I like and I don't recognize the song, I will latch on to a part of the chorus and I'll put that in my search bar and I'll find the song like, oh, okay, that's the song. And this is how I have discovered numerous musicians and songs that I liked since I've been listening to Mexican radio like for over 20 years. This is how I found all my favorites, and one leads to another. So you find one you like, and that search leads to more music that you like, and you think, oh, well, this band does this song, and oh, that's the band that does that other song that I like. This is how I explored the musical genres in Norteño. And it's been fun. Exploration is fun. If I ever stop exploring, I will probably have to die, because that's what life is about. It's about exploration and new adventures in music, or whatever it is that you have an adventure in. You got to get some of that coffee before it's lukewarm. Yes. This song, however, it didn't really have a chorus line that I could latch onto. You know, one short little chunk that was repeated over and over again. There were repeated lines in the song, but I'm like, I don't know what the chorus is. I don't know what to put in my search. I don't know what to put in my search bar. So finally, I just decided to put Linda Vida in my search bar, because he says that a couple times in the song. And I thought, this is so generic. I'm not going to get any hits off this. This is ridiculous. But it turns out that's the name of the song, and that's the name of the album. And it's by a musician named Tapi Quintero. And I had never heard him before. I guess he cut his first album in 2022. And, you know, if they're going to be playing his songs at 6 a.m., that's not really prime listening time. I don't listen to the radio that often. I listen to it when I'm in the car, and I'm not in the car that often. I do, however, listen enough that I usually hear the latest songs that are coming out from the bands that I like. I know I live in Roswell, so I don't know, you know, if I'm getting the latest of the latest. That's a little unclear to me. Or, you know, like Los Huracanes, for example. They are a popular band. They've been around forever. And of course, the local radio stations are going to play new songs that come out by that band. But what about like brand new bands like this, like Tapi Quintero? And it turns out that he is the son of Mario Quintero, who is the singer for Los Tucanes de Tijuana. And they're a very classic dance and party and happy music band. I mean, to me, it's happy music. I always liked listening to La Chona, because it's that La Chona spirit is, I mean, it's terrible. I don't think anybody would want to be married to this woman, but I like her spirit, where she just can't stop dancing. She wants to go out dancing all the time. And I just love that concept. I just want to be infused with that spirit, not in a negative or bad way. Like, she's probably terrible to live with. Her husband probably doesn't know what to do with her, and in fact, I think the song says something about that. Anyway, I like that I've always liked, since I've been listening to the Mexican radio stations, I've always liked that band, because they have a lot of fun party songs. Other than that, they're not really my favorite band. Anyway, that was the song and the musician. I discovered it through the extremely generic Linda Vida, which is just funny to me, that I'm like, what shall I put in my search bar? And I'm just like, I'm just going to put Linda Vida, because he says that a couple times in the song. And wow, turns out that was the right thing to put in, because that's the name of the song. Yeah, I'm a little behind the times, obviously, if this album came out in 2022, and it's, you know, almost 2024. So I'm a little behind the times, but I always end up catching up at some point. Yes. Well, so that was one reason, the fact that a musician that I liked passed away. That was sad. You know, it's not like it's my close relative, so yeah, I might be sad for a little bit, and then I get over it. You know, I feel bad for his family, and may God rest his soul, and may God take care of his family at this time, because they feel it much more deeply than I'm going to. But one thing that I do in my life that kind of gets me down, and it's emotional draining, and that would be creating the death registry for the parish. I'm trying to create a database, an e-registry, so that we have backups that are not just books that could be, you know, burned in a fire or destroyed in a flood or what have you. so that's what I've been doing. But what I've noticed with these pages that I put in of the death registry, so you take one page and you will find, like I came across a page last week where there was a 17-year-old boy who passed away, 2 43-year-olds, and a brand newborn baby who passed away. And that's not even that long ago. So I'm not talking about, because I'm working my way from present time to backwards. It just, I started out with the beginning of the records and going forward. And then I realized, well, this is not very helpful to me because I need to have current parishioners. I need to have their information. So I started working backwards instead. So from current time backwards. So this is, we are in modern days, but you still have infants who die, brand newborn infants and young people who pass away. And sometimes it's very tragic because they get in a motorcycle accident or, when I look at those pages, I don't always know. When I process funerals, I do usually know the cause of death. Not always, because that's not something that the families like to discuss a lot of times. Sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. It's a little emotionally draining and it's hard, but it really puts into perspective for me that we are given an allotment in life and we need to make the best of it, because sometimes that allotment is only 43 years and I'm, older than that now. But what if my lifespan is only 53 years? I don't know. I just know that I have to make the most of it now because God has my life in his hands and he knows how long I'm going to live. And that's why he's going to push me to do the things that I'm supposed to do in this life while I still have an opportunity to do them. Anyway. And then the third thing that happened last week that really got me down was I finished my book. And you're saying, now wait a second, shouldn't you be celebrating? Well, yes, but when you accomplish something major or something major happens in life, you still end up going through the grieving process. And yeah, when you put those final words on the paper and you're done, well, not on paper, my computer screen, when you're done with that last edit, and you've mailed it off. So I had emailed it off to the editor and I should have felt elation, and I probably did for about 5 seconds. And then I just got so depressed. I just couldn't even, I was so exhausted, and exhaustion and depression they can feel the same. But I think that once I was done with that book, I was no longer in that world, and it really depressed me. I wanted to be back in that world. And the next book that I'm going to do, I'm going to write, I'm going to be back in that world. I'm going to do different main characters. I think all the characters will be in there, but I'm going to have different main characters. That way I won't ever get bored of this world, this alternative Roswell universe that I've created. And so I should probably just start writing again, but I really need to rest and recuperate first. I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to try to deal with issues with my YouTube. For example, I have total 3 YouTube channels, and this was not intentional at all. One was automatically created with my Gmail, and one was created with my MSN when I hooked it up to my Google account. So I have a Gmail email and I have an MSN. And years ago, I had started this really dumb YouTube channel where I think she was 9 at the time, one of my daughters who was 9 at the time, was filming me just dressing up like an idiot. And we'd made a bunch of videos. I ended up publishing like 2 of them. They're really bad. They were made with an old camera. They weren't edited. They were just takes, again, they were supposed to be spontaneous, where she was interviewing me, and I don't even know what email address I was using. I can't get rid of them. They're forever. They're so ridiculous. But I guess I just have to live with that stain on my person forever. And I'm okay with it. I really have no dignity. I don't really care. So, but it is funny. They're really bad. I think my daughter, who is grown now, she probably cares more than I do. And I'm not going to take them down for her sake. I mean, I take them down for my sake, but her name isn't attached to them at all. So it doesn't really matter. She can go do her stuff with her name attached. It's only my name that's attached to these videos. So I will be the one who has to live with it. Yes. Did you know, I've heard this, that people who win the lottery even go through a time of grieving because it's a major life event that changes your life. Now, for me, I would not want to win the lottery because, and that would be my grief right there, would be like, okay, God, so you think I can't do it on my own? I can't like make my own money. I can't pay my own bills. You gotta give me that luck to win the lottery. I would probably be really unhappy for that reason, but that's not the reason why people grieve. It's just because it changes their life. Like if you win the lottery, you get this big chunk of money and you think you're going to be happy, but that's not necessarily the way it works, because even happy life events, we as emotional beings, we have to process those events. And so that processing often involves grieving. It's just the weird. I mean, yeah, so I finished my book. I should be happy. I should have gone out and had a party and celebrated, but I was too tired. I was too tired. And I gave up drinking like last June. And yeah, I've had a couple of drinks since then, but by and large, I gave it up. I don't really want to go into all of that right now, but I even tried drinking a couple shots of vodka, but they didn't really make me feel very good. And it wasn't really, yeah, it will relax me for a few minutes, but then what? I don't know. Didn't really do anything to take care of my exhaustion. I really had to just lie there and watch on the couch, being a big slug and watching TV shows like Psych, because I don't ever watch shows. I don't have time, so I don't really do that. You know, I'm busy every day of the week. Either I'm cleaning the house or I'm working on my books or playing my accordion, and who has time to watch shows? I don't know, but sometimes it's nice to do that. It's nice to sit there and laugh and have a good time. Sometimes I like dark British murder mystery and crime shows, and so I guess I don't laugh when I watch those, but I really enjoy them. They're engaging to me. They're entertaining. They're mindless entertainment because I'm not the one producing the story or anything else having to do with them. I really hate how gravelly my voice is right now. This is why I was not singing well at church. Now, I sang in a choir years ago. I know how to sing. I know how to sing above that area. So you want to try to get the sound up and out here and use your nasal passages, and you don't want to get the sound stuck in your throat. But I'm really out of practice, and it does take some practice. Some people, singing comes naturally to them. It does not for me. And yeah, you want to try to get over that. And I suppose that when you are speaking on camera or before an audience, that's also something that you want to aim for, is that you want to get your voice out of the gravelly throat, especially if it's dry where you live, like it is here, and you have really bad allergies like I do. You want to try to get it up and over that. And I know it's difficult. I had a professor once who was really hard to listen to because she had such a gravelly voice. She was the nicest professor ever. She was just the sweetest lady, but she was almost impossible to listen to. It was hard to sit in her class for a semester, so I didn't take any more of her classes. But honestly, the kind of classes she taught was not my interest, even if she was a very sweet lady. Anyway, that was completely meaningless, but it does show that your voice, the sound of your voice, has an effect on other people. So it is better to try to articulate and get above that gravel in your throat. That was horrible. Anyway, yes, going back to grieving over the lottery. I honestly, if you want to talk about grieving, I obviously got over it really fast because I feel very energetic and happy today, but that's probably because I sat around watching psych videos and laughed and ate potato chips. Oh my gosh, do I eat potato chips? I do. I have a thing for potatoes. I really do. Although you could say they're kind of healthy because they're olive oil potato chips. I don't know. I guess if you keep the temperature low and slow cook the potato chips, it's probably okay, because otherwise olive oil, you can't really heat it and especially extra virgin olive oil, you do not want to heat to high temperatures, because then you're going to create acrylamides in your food and you don't really want that. I have no idea. This is a bag of olive oil potato chips that I bought at the store, so I have no idea how they're cooked, but I ate them. I ate a whole bowl of them. You know, like a soup size bowl, not a cereal size bowl, a soup size bowl. Is that really, do people still honor that, or did they eat their cereal out of soup bowls? I don't know. I mean, it used to be a thing, like you had tiny little juice glasses, and then you had large water glasses, and you had tiny little coffee cups, and then you had larger teacups. That's the way the world used to function, where people had moderation before these giant Slurpees that are 64 ounces of disgusting sugary goo filling your body and destroying your liver and whatever. I'm sure some people would say, well, Jill, the potato chips aren't any better. And I'd say, I don't have any defense. I have none. I have no defense. I like potatoes. I'm Irish by ancestry. Why would I not like potatoes? Potatoes have kept my people going for years. And you know what? They're a New World food as well. So being of Irish ancestry from the New World means that potatoes are especially meaningful to me, to my heart and soul. Yes, potatoes are meaningful. And those potato chips also helped me get past my grieving spell. You know, it's interesting. I don't know. It just sort of popped into my head that I don't even like the idea of winning the lottery. And a lot of people think that they would enjoy it. They would like the money they'd pay off. They say that they would pay off their debt and maybe have a vacation and buy a decent vehicle, whatever they want to do with their money. I don't know. Everybody has different ideas of what they'd want to do with it. And for me, I have this huge pride in what I do, and I haven't really been able to cross that hurdle of making money off of what I spent a lot of time doing. And it's frustrating to me because I would like to make money off of my hard work. And that is pride, but it's, in a sense, it's a good kind of pride, because it's, I don't know, it's a mixed bag. It's interesting because the American nation, the United States, was basically built by people with that same kind of pride. They were independent and hardworking, and they wanted to do things for themselves, and sometimes on the backs of other people. But that independent, do-it-yourself spirit is not at fault for wanting to take advantage of others. That's a completely different spirit, and probably a demonic spirit of oppression towards other people. I don't know. But that independent spirit isn't, but it can be bad in as much as God's grace, our salvation through Jesus Christ, is kind of like winning the lottery. It's not like winning the lottery in as much as the statistical likelihood of winning the lottery is so infinitesimally small that that's not the way salvation is offered to humanity. So it's offered as a free gift to all humans for those who accept it. And it's a free gift. It's unmerited. And that's the thing about the lotteries, it's unmerited. And that's what bugs me, because I want to merit my money. I want to merit what I gain in this life. I want to earn it. I want to earn my way. And that's not wrong, but that's not what salvation is. And I think that I have that kind of pride sometimes when it comes to Jesus. I want to be good enough. I want to be worthy enough. I want to matter enough that I deserve it, that I deserve his grace, that I deserve his mercy. But that's not the way it works. We can't merit it. It's a free gift. We can't earn it. It's a free gift. That's what Christ went to the cross to do, to die for us, to extend his grace and mercy to us, to be that sacrificial lamb for us. You see that little lamb in his arms? He was that sacrificial lamb for us so that we wouldn't have to be, to eradicate death from the world. That's what he came to do. And we don't earn it. I mean, I guess there's a sense in that God is our creator and we're created in his image. And in that sense, we earn it by the merit of being humans, because God loves humans. If he didn't love humans, he wouldn't have created us. If he didn't love us, if we did not matter to him, he would not have created us. Why would he have? We created something that he hated, despised? No. He created us as human beings with the capacity to accept or reject him. And we have that capacity to accept and reject Christ's free gift that he gave to us. And the only sense that we merit it, the only sense, is that we're humans created in God's image. It really bothers me when Christians want to self-flagellate and they want to eradicate themselves from the equation. Well, God would be a lot happier if we weren't around. Well, then why did God create us? We have to matter on some level to God, or he wouldn't have created us. Jesus wouldn't have come to this earth to be a human like us and then die for us. But that doesn't mean that we can do anything to merit that salvation. We are imperfect. We are sinners. We are horrible sometimes. We have the capacity to do good, but we tend to not. We tend to choose what is wrong. My dog just chose to walk out the door right now. I don't think dogs can sin. I think they're just creatures of nature. But humans can, and they can be horrible, and they can be evil, and they can reject God, and they can be prideful, and they can want to think it's all about them, like everything. Not just, I matter because I am God's creation, but I matter because I'm the center of the universe. That's the way human beings are. So that's what I mean when I say that we can't merit salvation. We can't do anything. Instead, we should be so grateful that God created us, and then he came to earth as a human being to suffer and die for us. We should be so grateful that we should want to please him. We should want to. We can't merit what he did, but we should want to please him. That's a sobering thought, actually, because how often do we wake up in the morning and think, today I want to please God instead of myself? I don't know. I wake up sometimes because I never fall asleep, so I didn't really wake up just angry and irritated and grumpy and yeah. Sometimes I think that's grief too. I'm grieving the lack of sleep I got the night before, and I get over it by 8 a.m. I'm usually over it. After I've eaten and had some coffee and exercised and done all of this, I'm usually over that grief. But I still don't wake up in the morning saying, gosh, today I think I want to please you. Instead, it's more like, God, how are you going to bless me today? Which, God does want to bless us, and we should look to God for blessings. So that's not really wrong. But we should want to please God because of what he did for us. That's the whole concept of good works in Jesus Christ, is that God wants us to do those out of gratefulness and all the joy and love and peace that he's put in our hearts. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say on a Sunday. I just realized that I had been talking for 45 minutes. I never meant to have videos this long, ever. I like to listen to long videos because if I'm doing something tedious like data input, I want to listen to a nice long video, or if I'm going for a walk or whatever. But a lot of people, they're like, if it's longer than 10 minutes, I'm not going to listen. Well, I hope that you did listen to the end, and I hope you have a happy Sunday and a happy rest of your week. And I will see you again, maybe because I've been doing Monday episodes. Maybe I'll do a short Monday episode tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how I feel on my lunch hour, whether I really want to do that or not, or whether God inspires me to, because sometimes I can't inspire myself to talk to a camera, but God's like, maybe you should. I wish he would inspire me to be a better public speaker, but maybe that's the whole point. Maybe I'm supposed to do this until I become a good public speaker. And I was going to sing a little song before, as I started each one, like I did on one of the videos of a few videos back. I had sung a little bit at the beginning, and I just haven't felt like doing it since. I don't even know what inspired me to do that. But I'm going to try. That's going to be something for the future. I will try to sing a little ditty, little portion of a song before every video, before I start talking. Okay, I'm going to let that be the end. Like I said, have a great Sunday. Drink your coffee, enjoy yourself, enjoy the sunshine if it's sunny where you're at, and think to yourself, how can I please God today?